Hello and welcome. You are about to watch the first of 4 short videos which are required for you to complete as a follow-up to the one-day in-person training on PCP. These videos will guide you on the procedural elements of the PCP process and how to complete the relevant paperwork. These modules should be completed at the time that someone is preparing to develop a new PCP with the person supported. Once you have completed all 4 online videos, a declaration form of completion must be returned to training.limerick@bocsi.ie. These videos can be accessed again at any stage as additional resource or refresher when completing PCPs. This video will focus on stage 1 of the person-centred planning process, seeking permission to engage in person-centred planning. Before we begin, please pause to make sure you have a copy of Appendix 1 of the Person-Centred Planning Procedure, Stage 1 Seeking Permission document. This can be found at the back of the procedure on the shared drive. Each person supported by the services must be given the choice to participate in the person-centred planning process or not. The information booklet on seeking permission to engage in person-centred planning with the person supported starts with an information page for staff. Please pause this video now to read this information for staff piece. As you can see from having reviewed the information page for staff, it is people's right to be given the information they need to make a decision in a way that is accessible for them. Take some time to think about the supports the person you are working with might need before you proceed with seeking permission. Step 1. The first step in seeking permission is to explain the PCP process to the person you are working with. The easy read information in the permission document, What is Person-Centred Planning, can be used as a guide to your conversation. Remember to adapt the language used to suit the person you are working with and use any relevant communication aids to support them. Step 2. The next step in seeking permission is to support the person to think about the good things as well as the difficult things about having a PCP. This allows the person to weigh up the information and helps them make a decision. Step 3. The final stage in seeking permission is recording the decision to proceed with developing a PCP or not. Depending on the person's ability to understand and weigh the information given to them and their ability to communicate their decision, you will be recording the decision in either section A, B, or C. A decision to proceed with developing a PCP or not will be based on a few things: the individual's ability to give or withhold permission, the individual's ability to indicate their will and preference, and in the absence of ability to give or withhold permission or indicate will and preference, what is deemed to be the best interpretation of will and preference acting in good faith and for the benefit of the relevant person. Where an individual can give or withhold their permission to engage in person-centred planning, this is recorded in Form A. Where a person cannot demonstrate a full understanding of person-centred planning, but can indicate a preference, their will and preference should be recorded in Form B. For some people, it may be difficult to know if they understand or have a preference in terms of person-centred planning. In this case, it is important to consider the questions in Section C in order to reach a decision based on best interpretation of will and preference or in good faith and for the benefit of the person. This decision should be recorded in Form C. Please pause this recording now and take a few minutes to review Form A, B, and C of the recording permission section of the seeking permission document that you have in front of you. Stage 1 of the PCP process, seeking permission, should be completed for every person who receives supports from the Brothers of Charity Services Ireland. Where a decision is reached to proceed with the PCP process, the key worker will support the individual to proceed to Stage 2 and complete the Personal Outcomes Workbook. While the majority of people give permission to proceed with person-centred planning, there may be a small number of situations where a decision is reached not to proceed. This decision must be recorded on the seeking permission document and maintained on the person's file. The team will still deliver the things that are important to the person without using a formal planning tool. The person's individual needs, quality of life, and wishes must still be reviewed annually and supports put in place. A record must be kept of all discussions with the person and/or family in this regard. Opportunities to re-engage in the planning process should circumstances change must be offered to the individual and their family. Thank you for your time. You have now completed the how-to guide on seeking permission to engage in PCP. You can review this video at any time if you need extra support while seeking permission to engage in the PCP process. The next step for you is to watch the second video of this series of videos on the Personal Outcomes Workbook, which is stage 2 of the PCP process.